Were you giving birth to the second speech or were you just delivering it? Did you say 9 months? Hello, dear listeners. Today, CoachBusi is here with something you would never believe, my personal hero. The reason why I joined Toastmasters. Let me introduce to you my friend, my district director, distinguished Toastmasters Zivai Matondo. The crowd goes. Oh, Zivai, having you here with me with the journey I've walked is a dream come true. I am so humbled. I am in awe that you would say yes, but in true Toastmaster style, it was one call, one ask, and an immediate yes. Please introduce yourself to the dear listeners.
Thank you so much, Coach Busi, and for having me join you this evening. My name is Zivai Matondo, and I became a Toastmaster 10 years ago. Coming from a background where I was camera shy, I was stage shy, and so I'm one of those people that Toastmasters has worked for. I am a coach, I am a corporate trainer, I am a certified virtual facilitator. I help especially women to unlock their dreams, rediscover themselves, and to put the extra to their ordinary as they build abundance and a legacy for themselves. So that, in a very small nutshell, is who Distinguished Toastmaster Zivai is.
I love that you talk about the passion and where you are now. Give me a glimpse of who Zivai was before Toastmasters, before all this flamboyant, all this well put together Zivai. Who were you and what job were you in?
Okay, my career started off in banking. Then I did a little stint in sales by default and then went back into accounting. So I am a bookkeeper, administrator by profession, but I left that profession as far back as 2005, having started a home-based business that was now earning me more than I was making in my day job. And it would force me in front of people. And I say force because I am not a natural, or let me say I wasn't someone who would ordinarily, comfortably, at the spur of the moment, put myself in front of people and speak to people. So I was more a desk person behind the scenes, only spoke to people over the phone, so I wouldn't get to interact in person. So before Toastmasters, I was someone who would allow other people to get the limelight.
Look at you now, district director of 129. That is not a place where you can be hiding. How did you actually become a Toastmaster? Did you research? Were you invited? This is a key question for me because I am high on telling people that everybody needs Toastmasters. There are some of us who are in it for life. There are some who will come passing by, but the skills they learn, they will absolutely be invaluable. So I would like to know, how did you get into this Toastmaster world?
Thank you so much for your question. And I do get asked that question, and people are shocked at my response. I had an idea that there was something called Toastmasters from high school. And in high school, it was for a select few. It was a place where your public speakers would join the club to become better public speakers. So someone like me, who was not a public speaker, was not invited to be part of this club. Fast forward after high school, I found out that there was Toastmasters for grown-ups, but I had the misconception and the idea that I had from high school, and I was like, oh, it's only for the people that already are public speakers, who are polished, who are just wanting to become more professional. And so for me, I never looked for Toastmasters. Then much later on, probably another 18 years after I left high school, well, let me just say 20 years later, because I've got all my dates. 20 years after leaving high school, I get invited to a Toastmasters meeting. I attended because I had accepted the invitation. I sat through the 2-hour meeting. The club that I visited had a guest speaker who was the draw card for us non-Toastmasters. And it was the US ambassador to Zimbabwe who was attending and was the guest speaker at this club meeting. And so being in that room, hearing the members delivering speeches, and then the guest speaker coming up, when I left there, I was like, thank you, but this is not for me. Because everyone spoke confidently. And I was thinking, would I ever see myself getting up there and also delivering a speech like all these fantastic people did? And so for 2 years, I'd put Toastmasters on the back burner because I said, this is not for me. Then another friend reached out 2 years down the line and said to me, Zivai, I'm going to be part of a brand new Toastmasters club that's starting up in our city. And I would like you to be a part of this new club and be one of the 20. So I had the background of my previous experience 2 years prior. Then I had my friend asking me to be a part of this new baby. I didn't listen to the other voice to say, but you went to the one meeting and it wasn't for you. I listened to a friend has asked me for support. If I was in my friend's shoes, would I support her? And would I want to be supported? So I said, yes, where do I need to be? What do I need to do? So when I was given that form, I didn't hesitate. I didn't even think twice. I said I was supporting a friend. And when you support a friend, you go all the way. So I signed the form. I was told how much was needed. I paid what was needed, and I showed up.
Wow. And from that time, I get to benefit because what you did, what was your story, is exactly my story, except which high school did you hear about Toastmasters?
I'm even trying to remember whether it was my school that had Toastmasters, because I'm thinking we didn't have Toastmasters in our
We
school.
didn't have Toastmasters. I was thinking that, did I miss something big? Because
yes, I know we had a debate club.
We had a debate club.
Yes, when we were playing sport, you would then hear that, oh, this person is not playing today because they've got this club, they're doing public speaking and they've got competitions and things in high school. Yes.
Now you had an advantage there because for me, Toastmasters, up until you actually said to me, new club, I'm looking for members. I know it will benefit you. And it was during the COVID pandemic and there was not much else to do. And again, because I was invited by somebody I knew, somebody I trusted, and somebody I knew what they were saying was of value. And that's how I became a member of Toastmasters. Do you know that first meeting I came to was my first meeting for Toastmasters like ever?
Wow.
So my amazement with us understanding where people get to know about Toastmasters is that if the ones who have got value that they're seeing don't talk about it, people like me don't get to hear about it.
True. Very, very true.
Now, one thing that we ask for on this podcast is for people to tell us a story, a Toastmaster story. It can be about a speech they gave, a speech they heard, somebody in Toastmasters who inspires them, any story, because stories connect us. And somebody who is contemplating becoming a Toastmaster will watch this podcast and think, huh, that story, let me see if I can replicate, let me see if I can get the same benefit. So please, I am giving you 2 to 3 minutes to tell us a Toastmaster story, care of District Director of 129, Zivai Matondo, and the crowd goes, wow!
Thank you so much, Coach Busi. Now, I am full of stories. I have been a Toastmaster for 10 years now. And so as you were putting in your request, I was thinking now, which story of my many stories am I going to share? So I will share one, and hopefully if you then get another episode that you can call me back, I can share another story.
Right,
So
it's a
when
deal.
I became, okay, great. When I became a member of Toastmasters, remember I said to you, I was supporting a friend. And so I signed the dotted line. I paid the dues that were required. I showed up. I was told about the first speech that we need to deliver, which is an icebreaker. I got to work on my speech, prepared it, went through with my mentor, went and delivered my first speech project. And it took a lot of, I would say, mind games and my convincing myself to actually go up there and deliver my first speech. There was a round of applause. There was a standing ovation. Everyone there was so supportive. So everyone expected that 2 weeks down the line, a month down the line, I would deliver my second speech project. But guess what? It didn't take me the 2 months, the 3 months, the 4 months, 5 months. No, not even 6, not 7, not 8, 9 whole months before I delivered my second speech.
Were you giving birth to the second speech or were you just delivering it? Did you say 9 months?
It took me 9 whole months. It was not that I was like, I'm ready and I'm going to give my second speech project. No. I then was assigned a new member to mentor. I'd only done one speech. And so I could only give what I had. As a mentor, one needs to stay ahead of their mentee. So that forced me to deliver my second speech 9 months after becoming a Toastmaster. So I'm saying this just to say how petrified I was of standing in front of an audience. Now, when people started meeting me when I joined district leadership, they were like, wow, this is Toastmasters. And they think we are all like that and we came like that. No, there's a story to the story. This person you're listening to today, who's a district director, took 9 months before giving a second speech. Didn't even know there was something called district and would not have signed any dotted line. Even if my closest friend had asked me, it wasn't part of the plan. And so when I got to start mentoring a member of my club, that then pushed me to focus more on my personal development and to start doing what I, in my old self, would not have ordinarily done. And so beginning to mentor this new member, and I have plenty stories about this member I mentored, which has then pushed me, and I would say it cleared or created a path for me on my personal development journey. I would not be where I am today or the leader and person I've become through Toastmasters if it wasn't for that young man who had come straight from university, who would ask all the questions. And I had to find the information. So getting to get that information and being able to pass it on kind of made me a fundi on what one can get out of Toastmasters. And so I began to squeeze every cent out of my subscription fees to get the full benefit of Toastmasters. And to this day, that is what I share with the next person. And that's how I've been able to get more people like you, CoachBusi, to come and become a member of Toastmasters, how I've then started new clubs. And this is where we are today.
And just to be clear, you do this out of passion. Do you get any remuneration for any member who joins? Like if you join up 10 people, do you get $10 per person?
Very good question. And a lot of people do ask to say, you seem to spend so much time in Toastmasters. You must be getting paid the top dollars. And now that you are the district director, the CEO, overlooking and overseeing 9 countries, this really must be paying you very well. My question always then is remuneration just about money?
Thank you.
Are we putting a dollar sign to remuneration? So if you are in your mind, if you're thinking, can she put a dollar sign and figures to say how much she's getting paid for all the people she's brought into Toastmasters, for all the clubs that she started? No, I do not get paid. This is a charity. This is, I would say, my CSR as brand Zivai. When some people have the corporate social responsibility, my responsibility is to put in the hands of people the best and most affordable personal development program in the world. Asking for money for something that puts you in front of kings. I've had opportunities of walking and being in rooms with leaders of countries because of Toastmasters. I have developed essential skills that are transferable that I am using outside of Toastmasters. I have appeared in an international magazine thanks to Toastmasters. And this was because of having mentored this young man I spoke about. He decided the world needed to know about his fantastic mentor and submitted an article to Toastmasters International. And to date, you can Google Zivai Matondo, and one of those links pops up, and you can read the article. Where would I have paid someone for me to appear in a magazine with a story that emphasizes or recognizes the gifting in me of mentorship? So I've just mentioned just a few, I would say, remuneration packages that I've got from Toastmasters. I've appeared on TV, I've appeared on radio, and I've traveled because of Toastmasters. So that is way more than the salary that I would have asked for if I was being paid for the work that I do.
Awesome. Now, I did see, was it a photo or was it that you were in the vicinity with Lisa Nichols?
Yes, I had a photo with Lisa Nichols. Now, who would have thought? I mean, I would have never dreamt I would have been with Lisa Nichols. I would never have dreamt to have traveled to Bahamas. I didn't even have it on my list of countries that I wanted to visit. And I had the opportunity through Toastmasters to attend the International Convention 2023 that was held in the Bahamas. And Lisa Nichols was one of the speakers who spoke on the opening night. And I had a photo moment with her, not in the crowd, right next to her. Yes.
I thought as much. I just needed you to confirm. I just needed you to be the one to tell the detail to that because it was one of those, I call it like when God kisses you, where he just gives you something that you haven't asked for because you didn't even think it was anything you could ask for. I really appreciate your passion for Toastmasters. This is part one of the podcast that we're going to be having with Toast Talks with Coach Busi. Having walked 10 years, you understand she has more to tell us. Keep tuned in, dear listeners. And until we meet again, you never know the story that is coming your way. Toast Talks with Coach Busi, signing out, thanking District Director Zivai for having joined us today. Keep watching. Bye.